It's been confirmed yet, but a dangerous storm nonetheless. This entire area also under a severe thunderstorm warning. So damaging winds, certainly a possibility here. And we have rotation, as noted by the radar. Green moving towards the radar, red moving away. In fact, I just missed the timing. Dalton, if we could time that out again. I just want people to be well prepared and hopefully in their safe place. If you live here around Harvest and Bonneville, within the next, well, Bonneville, this is on top of you. If there is a tornado, it's likely right near U.S. Highway 31 and I-65 and moving towards the northeast. How fast are these storms moving, Dalton? 40. Okay, so they're a little slower than what we were dealing with in the Ohio River Valley, but still, that kind of paces your timing out. If you live in Harvest, 6:13 p.m., and in Madison Crossroads, just after after 6 local time. So there's a look at the track, and again, moving in that direction. Likely going to stay north of Huntsville, at least with this threat of storms. But look at what's all building here around this area, and this area has a pretty notable tornado risk today, along with all the other severe weather hazards. So again, Limestone, Lincoln, and Madison counties here in northern Alabama, southern Tennessee under a tornado warning. And then we jump over towards Kentucky. They did allow the tornado warning south of Bowling Green to expire, but still a dangerous storm. And we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings now through southern Ohio, one not far from the city of Columbus. So let's look at this one here north of Cincinnati, or this is just east of Cincinnati. Brown, Clermont, and Clinton counties are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30 p.m. It looks like we've got some damaging wind potential here around Batavia, moving towards Fayetteville, U.S. Highway 68 showing that. And then really quickly, let's jump up to the warning north of there, because that now gets into the Columbus metro area. On the southwest side of the city near Derby, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45 p.m. And these storms are likely moving up towards I-70 and could have the potential to rotate, certainly produce some strong damaging winds after what's been a pretty active day here around the Ohio River Valley. We want to go back to Alabama right now, where we have that ongoing severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning just north of Huntsville. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jordan Still for the latest update there. Looks like the tornado warn storm, Jordan, is going to stay just to your north. But what can you see from your vantage point? Do you see any concerning cloud formations off towards your west?
So not yet. So just to kind of show you which direction you're going to be looking, of course, this is going to be to our north. All right, on the right side of the camera. If you pan it farther to the left, where we've got the Space and Rocket Center, which we're standing in front of, which is so cool, you've got storms coming from that direction. In fact, as we take a look at that flight, looks like it's heading away from the airport. I was just looking at the airport here in Huntsville, and our delays continue to climb. We started off the last hour with 6 delays, then we jumped to 9. Recently, we're at 11, and it's obviously because these flights that are either coming or going or having to go around these big storms. But what we're going to look at, the darker skies over here to your left, and that's the direction where you are tracking that storm, Chris. And, you know, we technically are in the severe thunderstorm warning and not the tornado warning, but we were just listening to sirens going off 30 seconds before we came on air to give everyone an update that, hey, there's some severe storms on the way. Now, if you're under the severe thunderstorm warning, you're likely going to be looking at 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. Let's put it this way. Even if you're not in any warning at all, you're likely going to be looking at a good solid push of wind. And that's the reality. It's all calm right now where I am, but that's going to change in the next probably 20 minutes to an hour or so. Now, this storm system is crossing over I-65, as you mentioned. We still have that rotation associated with it. So areas that are near Harvest, I want you to get to your safe place right now, because it's just to your west. In fact, this thing's been cruising east-northeast between 35 and 40 miles per hour. And now that it's working its way over the highway, it's basically got its eyes set in your direction. And as that continues, we could maybe see some impacts up in the southern section of Tennessee, where the polygon goes into, or maybe even, closer to the city of Huntsville itself. You can kind of see Huntsville's right on that border between the red, which would be the tornado polygon, and the orange or the yellow, which is the severe thunderstorm. Either way you look at it, you've got this big line of water, intense rainfall kind of coming through, and we've already seen a good footprint of precipitation that's been laid down just to the west of us. And this has actually been quite interesting. I was watching it a couple hours ago. I'm like, man, if this thing continues to hold its juice, it could be very interesting by the time it gets to us here in North Alabama. And so we're seeing that here, of course, this evening, and we'll continue to track this as it's working to the east. Now, the reality is, as we head into tonight, we're going to lose this daylight, okay? And that sun is slowly setting. It sets just past the 7 o'clock hour local time. So as we head into tonight, things get dark. Storms get harder to see unless you've got lightning associated with them, and then it's flashes here and flashes there. So that's why it's a good reminder to, of course, have any kind of technical device to alert you of a severe storm, or of course keep it tuned into the Weather Channel, and we'll keep you guys posted throughout the evening, because I think a lot of these storms could continue to be fierce through the overnight hours, and that means we'll be tracking storms through the overnight hours as well, Jackie. So at least right now we're dry. Next time you come to me, Jackie, wouldn't be surprised if we got a line of storms coming through, maybe even seeing something on the horizon here. So we'll keep you guys posted.
All right, sounds good. Safety first, Jordan, as always. Thank you, my friend, and we will check back in with you in just a little bit. So Jordan made a really good point there that, you know, we're getting towards dark now. We're about an hour away from that in many of these areas, and that means tornadoes will be difficult to see. People are going to be going to bed, and you need to get alerted for that, because more tornado watches are going to get issued, meaning more warnings are going to be likely. So a watch means be on alert. A warning could happen. A warning means take cover now. So Jordan's under this southern watch here, and eastern Tennessee has also been recently put under a new watch. That one's until 2 o'clock in the morning. Of course, the rest of these all expand northward, but this is the next area where a watch is very likely to be issued. In fact, a 95% chance that we're going to get a new watch that will be east of and south of where Jordan is. That would include places like Birmingham, into Montgomery, and into the Atlanta metro area. So notice storms are already beginning to develop. They are not severe, but boy, suddenly we've got a big uptick in lightning. So we are expecting to see storms become more intense and continue to expand in coverage across much of the South. So I know you had a lot of focus into the Ohio Valley, and rightfully so, this evening, but we also can't let our guard down here into the deep South, into the mid-South as well. We've got torcons as high as a 5, and you know, you think, well, the sun's going down, my instability is going to go away, I don't have anything to worry about. Not true. Notice how it's really building from the Gulf northward as moisture advecting into the area, and so that instability with the buoyancy in the atmosphere is just going to continue to go up. So here's a look at the future radar. All of a sudden, we're talking about clusters and lines of thunderstorms. We may get what we call a QLCS, which is basically just a line of thunderstorms that has a lot of little areas of rotation within that. When we have that type of a tornado setup, they can spin up very quickly. They can also spin down pretty quickly too, but they're trickier to detect. So trust the warnings tonight. This will continue into the early morning hours for tomorrow. Even pre-dawn, we're going to be dealing with that threat into the Big Bend area and panhandle of Florida, stretching all the way up here into the eastern Carolinas. Now we've got a lot of juice. Our dew points are in the 60s, widespread across the area. And so that means we're getting heavy rain, and some of these thunderstorms may be training across the region. Our big flood threat has been focused up here, and now it's going to be expanding southward with time here as more storms develop. Mark?
And Jackie, you mentioned those rapidly changing conditions. The poster child for that this evening may be the Cincinnati area, where our own Justin Michaels has been reporting for us. Justin, it has been wild watching your views tonight, going from sunshine to cloudy to, it could have been a blizzard,
Mark,
for all we could tell.
It has been an extraordinary situation here over the last, 45 minutes or so. And in fact, I want to show you a video. In fact, wait, hold on one second. Let me step out of the way. I want you to see the skyline of Cincinnati. All right, take that in. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful American city. Now take our video from in the last maybe 40 minutes. And you can see from that video the stark difference in what has changed here in this amount of time. An extraordinary transformation is what you're seeing, but earlier it was a total whiteout as that line of severe weather was coming through, whiting out the skyline, whiting out Bengal Stadium over there. We couldn't see anything. And then slowly but surely, the storm kept pushing from west to east, and eventually it all started to emerge again. I will tell you, during that entire time, we were listening to tornado sirens going off. We're over on the Kentucky side of the Ohio River. That, of course, is the Ohio side. But tornado sirens were going off. We can't be sure where they were coming from, but they were going off. We know there was a tornado warning at the time just south of us here in Covington, Kentucky. The severe thunderstorm warning was active at the time. There's still a flood watch in place tonight that goes through about 11 o'clock this evening, so we'll have to pay attention to that. But it's amazing to see the difference and how things changed truly in real time, and we were able to bring that to you, Mark, live here on the Weather Channel. An extraordinary change as that line of severe weather was coming through. Mark, into you.
Yeah, what a change, Justin. Thanks for that report, and thanks for kind of showing us what it felt like out there. My goodness, it was like watching a washing machine.